Hey, how's it going? Today I'm going to be showing you a brand new exploit within Cyberpunk 2077 after patch 2.1. What I'll be showing you today is a new way to duplicate money, and you can do this infinitely. If you'd like, you can sit there all day and stack your cash till you're at the max amount. Not only that, but I will also be showing you how to grab a bunch of components, even legendary ones, so this way you can actually benefit from that. Also, I will be showing you some other things within today's video, but just know that some of these can be done early game, while some can be done later on. With that being said, let's go ahead and dive into this. Let's go over a way to duplicate money, and it can be done quite easily. What we need to do is locate a way to fast travel over to Dogtown. This is one of the requirements, so if you do not have the expansion, then you're kind of missing out on this. Once you have completed a certain amount of missions, you will be able to receive a cyberware, which is a face implant of some sort where basically you can disguise yourself. Well, when you're inside this vendor area here, this cyberware vendor, we're going to talk to her. You do not need to talk to her specifically, I'm 100% sure of this, but I'm just using this as an example because you do see this lady later on in the campaign. What we're going to do is we're going to then upgrade this to a tier 5. You will see there's 3 options here. We're going to choose the first one, but feel free to choose any of them, it does not matter. I'm going to then go downwards and you're going to see a duplicate version. This one will have the icon marker on the top, which is a quest icon. What you can do at this point is sell this item infinitely. As you can tell, I'm selling it and I'm confirming, and at the top right, we're gaining some money. This way you can do this as much as you like. So what happens if you were to accidentally equip this? No worries, you can actually unequip it and then you can sell it once more. This way you do not need to upgrade this again and waste some of those tier components. That's sort of just a little tip there because that can happen. And it happened to me, so I was like, oh man, am I screwed? No, you can just unequip it. So there you go. If you want, after you have duplicated a bunch of money, you can then go over here and buy all the latest bikes. Definitely recommend that. Continuing on, I'm going to show you a great way to upgrade your blue tier items to a purple tier item or epic, whichever one you prefer to call it as. And you can do this to eventually upgrade a purple to a legendary. So how do you do this? What you need to do is basically attack any gang out there and then find a blue weapon. Or better yet, if you find a purple weapon, that's going to be your best option there. We're going to then travel towards a drop point that can be found right over here in the distance. I'm going to head towards it, and then what I want to do is sell the weapons that I just picked up. For example, the blue tier item, I'm going to sell that. And I also want to show you an example of what can happen if you do sell some of your legendaries. Spoiler alert, it's not going to affect anything. So we'll just sell some of these items just to show you what exactly goes on. And there we go. If you have some knives, definitely do so. You could choose some there. But for the most part, this might work for some items. I've yet to test it out, but feel free to try it out and let me know down below. So with that being said, what we're going to do is then exit out of this menu here. And we then want to create a quick save. What's going to happen is when we do reload this back up, those items are going to upgrade. Only the ones that are blue tier, purple tier, and even gray version ones as well. You can create a quick save by tapping F5 on the keyboard and then F9 to reload it back up. If you're on Xbox, you're going to have to use the menu there. Once you've created one, just load it back up. Then take a look inside the drop point, and you should see that the item has upgraded. For example, this one right here is now an epic version. Pretty cool, and you can do this again with a higher weapon, but unfortunately you cannot stick this one back inside and then upgrade it more. That's not going to work. Moving onwards here, we're going to talk about something else, and this is going to be a duplication for weapons. Now, you may have seen this in the past if you have watched one of my previous Cyberpunk videos, again, in the past. So what I'm going to be showing you here is how to duplicate a weapon. It can be done quite easily, so what you need to do is kind of just figure out what you want to duplicate. You cannot do this towards those iconic weapons, unfortunately, because they cannot be dropped. Then we're going to pick it up and pause the game. You can also try pausing the game and then trying to pick it up right afterwards. If done correctly, you should see the weapon on the ground and the weapon inside the inventory. For example, right here, you do not see that, so what I'm going to have to do is drop the weapon I just tried to duplicate. I'm going to do it again. And for some reason, I'm looking at it right here, and I'm like, what the heck is that? Some sort of pixelated version there on the side of the hammer. Must be bugged. Anyways, again, pick the weapon up, pause the game, create a quick save, load it back up. If done correctly, the weapon should be on the ground like this. And if you check your inventory, you should see the other weapon, which is going to be the hammer. Same exact version. So before you pick this up, what you will need to do is spawn in a vehicle. Go towards the stash, throw the hammer that you just duplicated within the stash. This way it does not merge together with the other hammer. Just note that that can't happen because when you duplicate the items, they'll merge together, and the only way to separate them is by doing that. With that being said, if you want to grab a bunch of components, if you've done everything like we've done at the beginning, you can just purchase a bunch of legendary weapons and scrap them down. This is what I would recommend because previously they have patched the junk exploit so you can no longer duplicate a bunch of junk. They've officially patched that. And with this one, they've also done some other things that we'll get into eventually, but for the most part, I do want to show the rest of this here. What you can see is I'm going to be sorting it through. You can sort it by its type if you'd like, but I'm going to then just kind of scrap all the stuff here. And at the bottom, you can see the legendary components. If you are scrapping anything else, you may receive, something different, depending on the tier, if I could talk. But there you go. That's how I would do it if you want to grab a bunch of components. The other option is to use the method that I just showed you after the duplication exploit, and that's to grab some of those like rare items or epic versions and then throw it in a drop point, then create a quick save, reload it back up, and then if done correctly, it should upgrade. That's another method, and you can scrap those down, and it works just as well. So what we're going to do now is I'm also going to show you another great glitch here. And what this is a great way to jump really high up in the air. And this can be done with Rebecca's shotgun and a cyberware right here, which is going to be the fortified ankles. Once you have that equipped, go ahead and equip the Rebecca's shotgun, which can be found over towards Arasaka Tower. It's pretty easy to find. I'll show you it here on the map. But if you want, you could definitely look up a tutorial and you can figure out how it's done then. But pretty much, once you have both equipped here, what you're going to do is exit outside of the map, and you're going to hold down the Fortified Ankles button, which is, for me, it's space. For you, it's probably X or A. Hold it down, then let go and shoot the shotgun down below. You should jump higher than normal, and this way you could just, get to higher spots. So with that being said, this method right here, you can no longer use this to get underneath Arasaka Tower and, hop back inside the tower. They have officially patched that because when you try to go over here, the whole entire wall is completely solid now. It's no longer see-through, so you can no longer go through it. Unfortunately, they have patched that, which I don't understand the whole idea of patching glitches or exploits like that when they're harmless, right? They're just completely harmless, but I guess it had to go. The other thing that they patched was a way to get back in Dogtown early, so you can no longer do that as well. I'll show you a clip here just to prove that. If you guys have enjoyed the video, make sure to give this a thumbs up. If you have not checked out my previous 2 videos, I definitely recommend it. If you're experiencing any sort of dead zone issue or any sort of controller drift, let me explain how to fix that because I even mentioned it at the start of the video yesterday. What I recommend is that you go into the options and change the inner dead zone to at least 0.10 or even higher to see if it fixes the issue. So again, that's what I recommend. There has been a lot of issues as of late with this patch. I mean, it's a huge patch. It was like 43.6 or something gigabytes. For you guys on Xbox, it may have been around the 50 gigabyte range, which is pretty high. So there was a lot of things added to this patch. Now, if you are experiencing any issues or if you have any questions about the glitch, comment down below and I will be replying back to those comments within the first hour or 2. Thank you guys so much for the support. If you have not done so, subscribe, give this video a like, and I'll see you all in the next video.